Sunchild are a Ukrainian prog rock band led by Ukrainian musician Anthony Kalugin, who has uh, who also leads several other projects. He's quite prolific, and this features a band and also tends to feature guest musicians and singers. They have released 9 albums so far since they started in 2008. Hi, my name's Dan. So most of the reviews on this channel are me reviewing through this mega list of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to a website called Acclaimed Music, where they have made an amalgamated list from critics' lists. It's been a big work of love and dedication to get that list together, and I'm trying to honour it by seeing if I can get through the whole lot. I'm approaching, I'm over 650 now, so I can't work that out. But occasionally I step off the list, and this is one of those. I'm stepping off the list, and this is a series that I call Hidden Gems. So this is an album that I think not many people are going to be aware of. I think is a really good album that deserves some attention. And I have obviously, therefore, I've encountered it before, but I've reviewed this before. So a little bit of history. Before I was doing video reviews, I had a blog in which I was doing reviews, which had a readership of about 5. So I think I've stepped up a bit from that. And that was, again, general album reviews. Before that, I was doing prog rock reviews specifically, which I just posted on Facebook for my friends to see, but then collected afterwards into a self-made PDF virtual electronic coffee book called Prognosis. And this album was featured in that book, and so I've previously reviewed it. But it's been a while, and I've kind of somewhat forgotten it, but I've come back to it, and I want to kind of bring it to your attention. So it's definitely modern prog rock, what is sometimes called the third wave. There's a reasonable amount of this stuff around. So I was, a while ago, I was under the impression that prog rock had completely died off after the 80s and the neo-prog scene, and that's not true. There's a load of stuff out there, but it's generally only kind of finds its way to the audience who are looking for a specialist audience. And if you want to find stuff, if you're into prog, then go looking at Prog Archives, the website. It's a brilliant website, which is where I found a lot of stuff over the last few years. Um, my one beef with modern prog like this is that it's not really progressive in that it's not pushing new boundaries. It's using the same kind of tropes from certainly from the last 10, 20 years, but picked up from the 70s prog rock bands and turned into a kind of format that I think works because it's still nice. I like it. This album is varied, complex, rich, lots of different instruments, large, grand. It's particularly theatrical, I would say. There's a definite feeling of theatre to the whole thing. And actually, some of the music and songs sound a bit musical theatre in their approach, particularly the female guest singers, and I'll come back to them. There are classical and folk instruments as well as rock instruments, things like guitars and synths. The sound effecty bits always goes down well with me, like little bits of atmosphere when you're starting or ending a track, or sometimes even the middle. Most of the tracks are fairly longish, but the first one is a 15-minute epic called The Stars of Cardiff Bay. There are often multi-part structures, and they segue between the different structures quite well. The different sounds, and there's quite a variety of feels going on here. Most of the vocals are by Anthony Kalugin, who's the linchpin of this, and they're somewhat accented, but actually not in a way that I would say is problematic. I feel that so much of this third wave of prog is coming from Northern Europe and, in this case, Eastern Europe, that actually having accents but doing it in English seems to be the norm at the moment. for this stuff. Um, I've said some female guest vocals. They're excellent. There's some really nice female voices on here. My favourite track for that, I'm not sure it's my favourite track on the whole album, is a track called Mirrors, which has a guest vocalist, female, and it's got a 6/8 swing feel to it. And the vocals are very Kate Bush. It sounds like a Kate Bush track, but it also has a slight edge again of it feeling like it's from a musical. It's got that kind of feel to it. Um, so I would recommend it. You probably have to be a prog fan to like this as much as I do. Doesn't mean it's inaccessible to other people. It's not impenetrable stuff like some of the more way out prog from the 70s. It's definitely listenable, I would say. And I'd say it's definitely worth a punt. There's no a Wikipedia page for them at all, so it's definitely kind of under the radar. But in the stuff below, I'll link in the Prog Archives stuff for this album and for the band. So I really like it. Obviously, that's why I'm pushing it. If you know it or you're encountering it for the first time, I'd love to know what you think. So please do leave a comment. That's it from me for now.
There is a pretty nice flat where a family live in peace, a wife, a husband,